Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Vergil Ortiz, next two fights leads to Errol Spence Jr. And look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. You know, you've seen recently that Vergil Ortiz has been looking and searching for a world title fight. And, you know, he's most recently targeted Terrence Bud Crawford, but Terrence Bud Crawford has continued to reject and ignore and brush off a guy like Vergil Ortiz, not willing to fight him, not wanting to fight him. And since Terrence Crawford is simply just not interested in the fight, after all these times of rejection, you see that Vergil Ortiz is starting to go another path. You've seen Terrence Crawford laugh off Vergil Ortiz. You've even seen Terrence Bud Crawford come to the point where he was saying that Vergil Ortiz has to earn the fight with him, regardless of Vergil Ortiz being ranked number 1 in the WBO. Now, but at the end of the day, none of that matters. At this point, Vergil Ortiz is pressing forward, and he's looking to fight the number 3 ranked contender in the WBO, and that's Michael McKinson in the first quarter of 2022. Now, Vergil Ortiz is looking to take this fight, and this is the type of fight he should be taking. Vergil Ortiz is 23 years old. He's fighting a top contender. So at this point, he needs these type of fights to grow, develop, facing a southpaw, someone that can help him gain the needed experience he will need when he fights the top welterweights in the division. So I have no problem with the fight, especially what comes after it. You see, immediately after this fight, Vergil Ortiz is already booked again with a title eliminator for the WBC for David Avanesyan. A lot of people are seem clueless about this. The fact that Vergil Ortiz will take that initial fight with the top 3 ranked fighter in the WBO and then fight a title eliminator, the WBC title eliminator, with David Avanesyan. Whoever wins that fight with David Avanesyan, they will get an immediate straightaway shot at the WBC title. The WBC champion right now is Errol Spence Jr. So it makes sense why Vergil Ortiz have these next 2 fights. It makes sense how they're lined up to allow him to get a world title shot at against a guy like Errol Spence Jr., since Terrence Crawford is simply not interested in the smoke. Because men lie, women lie, but the facts don't lie.